Welcome everybody to our presentation of the 2012 Charles Brownlow Medals today. We acknowledge that we're meeting on traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. We pay our respects to the elders past and present, and the AFL values its partnership with Indigenous cultures and communities, respects the protocols, heritage, culture of all Indigenous peoples. And on behalf of the AFL Commission, Chairman Mike Fitzpatrick, Chief Executive Officer Gillan McLaughlin, and members of the AFL Commission, we'd like to welcome Trent Cotchin today, his wife Brooke and his two darling daughters Harper and Mackenzie. And to you, Sam, to Sam Mitchell and to Lyndall, and to their three gorgeous children as well, and they are. I'm talking about Smith and the twins, Emerson and Scarlett. It is an unusual Brownlow ceremony, but we are here to celebrate you both. The incredible seasons that you both had in 2012 and beyond that. A special welcome to representatives of the Richmond, Hawthorn and West Coast Eagles football clubs, including club presidents, chief executive officers, coaches and players. And a very warm welcome to two Brownlow medalists in the room. They've got the honour and the wonderful task of presenting medals today. I'm talking about AFL legend Ian Stewart, a three-time Brownlow medalist, and Hall of Famer, 1999 Brownlow medalist Shane Crawford. Can you believe it? It's the first time they've met one another today, and they're sitting right there, side by side. Footy does that, doesn't it? Let's go back to the 2012 season and take a look at just how brilliant Trent Cotchin was.
The 2012 Brownlow winners are Trent Cotchin and Sam Mitchell.
They've won the most prestigious individual award, and it's definitely something that we'll reflect on post-career.
What I love about Trent Cotchin, it's a big call, I guess, but he reminds me a lot of Gary Ablett the way he plays. He's got a sideways movement. Every time he kicks the ball, he squares his hips. Elite decision making, quite clearly a really talented player.
Performances are fabulous. They're the most consistent season I've had.
And they're in trouble here. And Cotchin kicks the goal. And has something to say about it.
Now trying to get the kick away. Cotchin, terrific.
Cotchin's only at the beginning of what, looks like going. He's just a top notcher now. And he's 22 years of age.
There's the bloke who's starting to roll Cotchin.
This is the advantage that Damien Harper has with midfielders like Cotchin. You can throw them forward and they're equally damaging.
Trent's one of those players, there's probably another player that's quite like him. His ability to get inside and outside is second to none.
Cotchin ran. Pinball. He was brilliant. McGuire to Cotchin to Jackson. Cotchin comes in. That's mighty tight. I think it's there. The Twins are in front.
Now the two for Cotchin. He's got Pickett over to the left. Cotchin, just a little bit of genius. Long one, good mark, Cotchin into the goal square. Goal.
I think Cotchin's the one they need again. Nah, Cotchin. You mentioned him, King. You suck it.
Dustin really just gave the high five to Trent Cotchin. He just continues to get better and better, doesn't he?
He's an absolute superstar. He's one of the best players in the competition, if not the best. I just love playing with him.
It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the AFL Chairman Commission, Mike Fitzpatrick, and also to triple Brownlow medalist Ian Stewart. Michael Ian.
Call forward Trent Cotchin as a 2012 Brownlow medalist. 2012 season was a stellar year in which he won the second of his 3 Jack Dyer medals as Richmond's best and fairest player. After winning the award in 2011 for the Tigers, his 2012 year was truly exceptional when he took over as captain and won All-Australian selection across the midfield as a wingman. A brilliant player at stoppages, and also moving forward, he was 4th in the AFL for total kicks and 4th in the AFL for delivering the ball into the forward line that season. He was also dangerous as a resting forward, kicking a career best 21 goals that year. His marking skills and his ability on the ground were too good for most taggers when he was up front. Trent is Richmond's first Brownlow medalist since Ian Stewart in 1971 and just the 5th player in the club's history to win this award, joining Stan Judkins, Bill Morris, Roy Wright and Ian Stewart. He was number 2 selection overall in the 2007 National Draft behind his good friend Matthew Cruiser, who is also here today, coming from the Northern Knights. He is durable and consistent, averaging nearly 20 games a year across his 9 seasons in the AFL, and has led his club for the last 5 years. 3 consecutive finals appearances have not yet been rewarded with a winning final, but Trent has continued to produce his best and strive for success for the many Tiger fans. He's a player that epitomises talent, dedication and persistence. Congratulations to the 2012 Brownlow medalist, Trent Cotchin.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got a growing family. You've got some special guests today, but
I didn't back then.
no, you did not. But we've got to think of this moment for a moment. So you've had a chance to invite friends and family today. That's unique.
Absolutely. And as Sam and I have discussed, since knowing that we were going to be awarded the 2012 medal, we had to embrace it. It was an exciting opportunity to invite our closest friends and family and those that have supported us all the way through.
And Brooke and her support over the years?
Oh, incredible. I think any AFL player that has a wife or partner understands the ups and downs of an AFL career, whether it's injury, loss, criticism, whatever it is. You need someone that's really strong behind you. Otherwise, you do probably curl up into a ball, and I'm very lucky for the support I get from both Brooke and my kids.
And the both second name's Fox. Is that what's that all about?
Well, I grew up on a farm, and I like I suppose with Harper, we just like the ring that Harper Fox had, and then given that they're both girls, we thought once they do get married later in life, their name will probably change, but at least they'll have their middle name in common going forward.
Now, Mum and Dad, Peter and Kath?
That's correct.
Both here?
Yes, both here.
Now, is it true, did Dad play with Tony Shaw?
Well, he reckons he was a better player, but never got picked up.
One Norm Smith has, but that's okay. So he didn't get picked up. He must have had an influence on you.
Yeah, he's been an incredible influence from day one of my life. The rock of the family and a strong person, and I've learned a lot of lessons growing up with such a great person to look up to, and I've been lucky enough to add those sort of people as my journey's gone on. And
Mum was there on that fateful day. I read bits of Emma Quayle's wonderful book about the draft where she wrote about you before you'd even played an AFL game, and you're playing against a bloke that I hate mentioning his name, it's Cyril Rioli, everybody, but that's okay. And Mum was there on that fateful day. Under 12s, was it Victoria versus Northern Territory?
Yeah, it was. I was given the task of tagging Cyril. I think it was his 4th season. He'd been playing since he was 7 years old in the NT side, given the talent he has, and he's gone on to do bigger and better things. But I had the job on the day, and I think you're about to mention what happened at quarter time. But as an under 12 kid, you're obviously just there to enjoy the moment. But I managed to cop a fair old spray at the ripe age of 11 years old. And
Cyril must have had a good first quarter.
He had a very good first quarter, and he's had many since. But I went to the lockdown and managed to play a pretty good game after that. And obviously, as it's been written about, it's a memorable part of the journey.
And you described once your mum to me, typical mum, so what was she like on that day?
She asked what the coach said, because she was probably a little bit disappointed that I'd copped a spray, given mums were all protective, but she said, oh, well, there's some lessons in that, Trent, and you just got to take it in your stride and keep going forward.
Now, you've been a little disparaging about Dad's football career, but what about your father-in-law's football career, Rick Kennedy?
Yeah, well, he was a good player, obviously. Captained the club for a period of time and has been a great mentor of mine, a great supporter of ours, and I'm very lucky to have married into having another great person in my life.
He's had a good year. I mean, the dog is about...
Yeah, he hasn't stopped talking about it.
By the way, Rick, 12 Brownlow votes, 16 matches suspended, so that was his career. So okay, so that's okay. That's okay. Is Dusty here today?
He is. Just the second row there. Looking sharp as always.
Good to see you, mate. He got fairly close this year to being where you are right now, didn't he, with his 25 votes?
Yeah, he had an outstanding season. And I think the greatest thing that we're excited about at Richmond is the football that we think he can continue to produce, and he's only going to get better. He's doing more work than ever in the gym, and I think he's going to be a strong force going forward.
I know Mark Williams had a lot to do with you, Dustin, and you've spent a lot of time with the Williams family, but did he come and live with the Cotchins for a short time?
He did. He was our first child. He spent about a month with us. I think it was the first year as captain, three odd years ago. And I think the greatest thing that I took out of it, and I've probably never really told him that, is how much it taught me about myself, but also about others. And again, it's a part of a journey where I've learned about a lot about one individual, but it's helped me so much with my relationships with other people. We're all different, and that's what I love about Dusty. He's happy to share that and educate others on it.
Just one other person I can notice. I've seen my friend Shawnee over there, but he's sitting next to a guy called Hamish McLaughlin, who I'm guessing's not waiting for me to fall over to come up and host. I guess he's here for another reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Haim has been, as I said, I've been lucky enough in my football journey to meet great people, and Haim is one of those. He's been a mentor, whether it be football, business, life, and just getting the best out of yourself. And I think that's what's so nice about the setting we have today, is that you have the ability to share this moment with people that you love and care about, and the majority of them are in the room.
Just a couple of things about that. I think you started as an under-9. I think I'm right in saying that at Reservoir. The Cruise, and Mike mentioned Matthew Cruz. I mean, you were great mates. Cruz was probably playing in that game against Sue. I don't know. Was he?
He was actually. Yes, he was.
So was it a bit strange when there was a lot of talk about who'd be 1 or 2 and what was going to happen in that draft?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I think the greatest thing was that we got to share that part of our story together. There's times where you feel the pressure of performing as a young kid growing up, but we were able to talk about it together, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love the fact that he knew prior to the draft.
How did he know?
Carlton had taken him out for dinner, so I was well aware that I wasn't going number 1, so I hadn't had to call up for dinner. But that's another significant relationship in my life that we've continued, and it's special.
I've always suffered from being too short, but you were a little guy. But is it true that you had a big growth spurt when you were 14 or 15?
Yeah, 14 or 15. I was always the pocket dynamo, forward pocket, trying to kick goals. Didn't always happen that way, but had a significant growth spurt, 14, 15, and then didn't grow again after that. So I've had to deal with. I'm not as short as Sam, but.
You haven't got as many Brownlow votes as him as yet.
All premierships.
Well, that brings us to the Tigers, doesn't it? So it's a strange. I mean, there's so many Richmond people in the room, but it is a strange club in so many ways. It is unique. I mean, we love them. I'm neutral, but when the Tigers are up, the whole town's up. But there is a responsibility when you're playing for them and when you're the captain, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such an incredible part of my life, going into my 10th season. You learn so much about the people that are involved and how important those people are in driving the club forward. Yes, our fans, they're amazing as well. Get up and going when we're winning games of footy, and they're the first to tell you how bad you're going when you're not, but that's all fans, and that's the reason we love them. They're drivers of our football club. But yes, for whatever reason, we do seem to find ourselves on the front and back page of the paper more often than not.
And in your first 3 years as captain, you did make the finals in consecutive years. You won 15 games in 2 of those, and then made the finals with that big spurt at the end. And so is that a successful time or an unsuccessful time?
I don't think it's a successful time, but you know, a lot of people comment on the fact that we haven't been successful. We've grown, we improved. We had a really disappointing year last year. We're well aware of that. We've had fantastic change over the off-season and during this pre-season, and we feel reinvigorated. The energy's there that we probably lacked a little bit last season, and we're excited about what holds us. We've got some really good young talent. We've brought some players in over the off-season, and then we've got our senior players that are consistently performing. And you know, you look at the Hawthorns of the world. I know that he's not there anymore, but you know, that's what I'm striving to do as a football player, especially for the Richmond Football Club, is win a premiership. You know, let alone 4 of them. Special, and that's what we're striving to do at Richmond.
2 quick ones. Your cat's name, was it Buddha? Was it who was it?
Gary Cotchin, yeah. I like that he was a very good player, but a bit dirty as well.
He was top 3 and 4 Brownlows, but maybe that's why he didn't win one. And the Deledio poster that was in your room, has that come down?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Caddy and Presley gone back up.
Yeah, I've got a print out of them now. It's all good. Brooke's a bit weirded out.
Congratulations. You had a magnificent season. You continue to be a wonderful player. Just very quickly, in 2012, Trent didn't poll a vote in the first 6 rounds. He polled 11 votes in the last 4 rounds, so including 3 in the last round, which this young fella did as well. So anyway, Trent, I'm sure there's a couple of things you'd like to say.
Yes, thanks, Bruce. I'll keep this nice and brief, and I think we touched on, you know, the most important parts of our journey. But firstly, congrats to Mitch. Obviously, it's nice to share this experience with someone, given it is indifferent, but we are embracing it, and we need to enjoy the moment. The Richmond Football Club, fans, staff, support staff, and most importantly, the playing group. You know, past and present, given it was 4 years ago, there has been some past players that I thank for the journey, the AFL for the support. Obviously, an incredible game. It's the greatest game in the world, and we're continuing to grow it. We're looking forward to what lies ahead. Family and friends, and as I said, majority of you in the room, you know, ongoing support from day one of my life through to now has been incredible. Mentors, life lessons, journeys together, they've been so exciting, and I continue to look forward to what lies ahead for us. And probably most importantly, my wife and now 2 girls, perfect timing. Without their support, as I mentioned to Bruce, environment, leaving your family at home, but the support they show, the love and care that they give me, but also each other and their family is incredible, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you to everyone coming, attending this day, and I look forward to sharing in a couple of quiet waters, because I've got training after this. So thank you.
Well done, Trent. Superb. We started by watching Trent's superb season. Let's have a look at Sam Mitchell and what he got up to in 2012.
Hawthorn, S. Mitchell, 3 votes.
Most people received the Brownlow Medal sitting up in front of 1,400 people, plus I received a phone call with my son sitting on my knee, sitting in my backyard with my wife. It's a very special award, isn't it? And when I get a phone call saying you're a Brownlow medalist, I'd be lying if I didn't say it was not a joyful experience.
Mitchell steals the title over. Short, ball kick, Watson.
It's a brilliant kick, one of the best.
Roden to Mitchell. Got it on the ball.
Van Berlo now, his kick smothered by Mitchell, who's running rampant.
Now Mitchell, he'll kick this. Sammy gets it.
Sam Mitchell's number one ability is around the clearance and contested possession. It's one thing he always does around the stoppages is free his hands up as he's getting tackled. He then has the ability and the awareness to put the ball out into space and put his teammates into a better position in an uncontested situation. He's number one at Hawthorn for tackles. He's always been a leader in this area, and he does all the polished stuff as well, but it's great to see him doing the 1%ers.
Kelly drives it back towards half-back. Oh, downward Selwood. Bit there by Mitchell.
When I look back at it now, in 2012, 3 little kids under 2 years old. It was sort of the last year that my mother-in-law was with us and she passed away of Alzheimer's.
How good was that, mate, Mitchell?
I mean, we lost the grand final as well. I look back on it as a season to forget, in a sense, but now I guess there's a silver lining there, something to be proud of that I was able to achieve, an individual honour in a season that carried some burdens of its own.
Ball still comes out. Mitchell goal. Brilliant. Rough hand. No, not quite. Mitchell, you betcha.
And once again, my pleasure to welcome back to the stage the AFL Chairman of Commission, Mike Fitzpatrick, and to the 1999 Brownlow Medalist and Hall of Famer, Shane Crawford. Thanks, Mike.
I wish to call forward Sam Mitchell as the 2012 Brownlow Medalist. Sam is the 5th Hawthorn player in history to win the Brownlow Medal, and the first since his former teammate Shane Crawford won in 1999. He's now moved his young family to Perth to continue his playing career with the West Coast and prepare for a life in coaching. His football accomplishments stand easy alongside the great players in our history. 300 games. Sorry, a 300-game player, more than 300. 4-time premiership player, 5-time club fairest and best of Hawthorn, as winner of the Peter Crimmins Medal. Sam's story to reach AFL football is a testimony to hard work after initially being overlooked in the draft and beginning with Box Hill. He was taken with a 3rd round selection in the 2001 draft at pick 36 and won the Liston Trophy in the VFL before establishing his senior career with the Hawks. Sam won the Rising Star Award in 2003 when he established himself in the senior side and joins Nathan Buckley, Ben Cousins and Adam Goods as the 4th player to win both the Rising Star Medal and the Brownlow. Of those players, he is the only one to have captained a premiership when he led the Hawthorn team to an upset victory over Geelong in the 2008 Grand Final. Sam now joins a small club of just 7 players before him to have captained a premiership team and won a Brownlow Medal. All-time greats like Michael Voss, James Hird, Chris Judd, Sid Coventry, Harry Collier, Dick Reynolds and Don Cordner. He's a great player who's always under the eye of the umpires, consistently winning the ball in contests for his team and then delivering it to his teammates with wonderful skills, both hand and foot, on both sides of his body. A player who can always be relied on to produce his best at the times when he is needed the most. Congratulations to 2012 Brownlow medalist, Sam Mitchell.
Congratulations. I think the 3 children got a bit of a kick out of seeing themselves on the big screen a moment ago, didn't they?
Yeah, they love talking about themselves when they were little. They've all got their little. One says I used to sleep all the time. One says I used to cry all the time. The other one says I used to vomit all the time. So they took a lot of pride in seeing themselves. I noticed. Do you see how to lower that now, Trent? Thanks for that.
I love it when you win a Brownlow, Sam, because I'm almost your height, so it's terrific. Hey, so they're a little older than the 2 gorgeous little Cotchin girls. So today, and Mike mentioned 300 games this year, and obviously there's been a few parades. I know Smith didn't mind the AFL Grand Final parade, I'm right in saying that, I think. But so having them a little bit older and seeing Dad play, it must be a real thrill. And to be here today.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, normally not too many people are in as lucky a position as me to play at 34 with 3 kids who are actually going to remember a day like this. I mean, I don't think there'll be another Brownlow medalist that gets awarded it in front of children who are old enough to remember it. So I'm certainly appreciative of the way this has happened, and the kids are, been a big part of the journey for such a long time now. 5 and 6 years old. So they thought that the grand final parade was just part of every year life, but unfortunately they missed it this year. So something different for them, but they've been such a big part of the journey, being able to share something that is really such an individual. From a family point of view, it's something you do, you go to work, but being able to share it with your family at moments like this is something it's even better than dreams. You dream about lots of things when you're a kid, but you wouldn't even dream of this.
You've been in a great team, but I reckon you and Linda are a great team as well. I mean, you've been on the journey together, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we certainly have. It's been a long time. Been through a lot, like any married couple would know. But I guess for us, I stand up here and get the accolades and get a pretty little golden medal, and I guess I kind of give the analogy. It's a bit like the duck looks all nice on the top, and she's the legs underwater that are going crazy, making you stay afloat. So certainly without a supportive wife, you're going to find it very, very hard to stay at the top of this game for any extended period of time.
So is it easy to talk them into going west?
It's an interesting story. Probably better to get her to tell it, but I guess it was somewhere in our future. We thought when I came in after I had the chat with Clarko and mentioned what it was about, it all looked very serious sitting out there, and she was sort of wondering what it was about. And, I told her what had happened and what was the suggestion, and I was pretty open to it. And then she goes, "Oh, really now?" Well, and then I think she just saw the look on my face and said, "Yeah, let's just do it. Let's go." So the kids are at the right age, they're about to start school or have just started school in Smith's case. So that shows a fair bit of love to give up everything here and move over and chase my career. But she's been like that we've been together for over 10 years. So that in that time, she's always been supportive in that way, and something I try my best not to take for granted, which I don't think I do too often, but sometimes every now and then I guess you won't take it for granted. But when you come here and you appreciate it, especially when I did the 4-hour flight yesterday with just the kids on my own, I really did appreciate it.
We really feel sorry for you, don't we? Every one of us.
First ride problems.
They are. Well, Dennis quit after how many years home and how many flights, so we feel for you. Mike mentioned the struggle and the great story, and I think you started a Vic kick as a very young boy, which is always. And then Saints fan, was it Plugger, or who was the hero?
Yeah, it was the early days. It was Plugger, the number 4 on the back of the jumper, and grew out of that pretty quickly when I realised I was going to be Bruce's height and was not going to kick too many goals. So quickly became a number 3 on the back for Nathan Burke. He sort of was fitted my stature a little bit better.
No, I think you've got him perfect. Just a couple of people want to ask you about Barry Prendergast and Simon Dalrymple, who I know he'd take you to watch one particular player when you were developing as a footballer.
Yeah, I guess good people to mention. I mean, to end up here, in front of your family and friends, winning a Brownlow medal, it doesn't happen without having a bit of luck on your side, and some of that luck is having the right person that believes in you at the right time. And I mean, Simon Dalrymple was an assistant coach at Eastern Rangers when I was there, and at that stage, if you can take your mind back far enough, the year sort of 99-2000, it was Croft, great athlete, and then Anthony Koutafidis was sort of everyone was going to be 6'4" athlete, and look at me, I probably couldn't be much further from those models. So, but Simon Dalrymple still believed in me, and he took me to a couple of Carlton games to watch Brett Ratton play, and that's just off his own badge of getting paid. Didn't tell anyone about it, and it's no surprise now that he's put together a list like the Western Bulldogs have. And they've come from nowhere to win a premiership under him being the list manager. So sometimes you just have to have the right person in your corner at the right time, and I've been just so fortunate to have that all through my career to get to this point.
Croft's not the only captain that you played under at Hawthorn here. I think Richie's here, isn't he, today?
I hadn't seen him yet. He's running. Is he here? Got a hand up? I know his wife's here. Yeah, he'll be here if he's not already. So he's been huge for me. I mean, when I was young, it was probably reasonably well documented that I was a bit of a my way or the highway type leader early days, and under his guidance really was able to round out my leadership a lot more, and he was someone that I don't think I would have become the player or person. And I mean, he was in my wedding party and just been such a great, even though he's sort of only a few years older, sort of a mentor, a life mentor in a way. I've been able to learn so many great lessons from him, and even the way he's attacked life after footy. You know, he's really successful in his own right now with his business ventures and things, and he's joined the board at Hawthorn, so he's gone on to bigger and better things. And you know, when you have people like that in your life, you can't help but be really thankful.
Just a couple more things about that. But you said to me once that at 14 years of age you realised that 1 in 100 make it in the position you're in. You realised just how hard it would be. Could you just tell us a little tiny bit about that?
I laugh at my naivety. I was sitting at a change rooms in Heathmont, trying out for an Eastern Rangers squad, and in that, I'd never done the math, but in my head, you know, I was definitely going to play AFL, don't know how many Brownlows I'll win, but it'll be a few. And then the coach said, oh, you're very, very lucky to be sitting in this room. There's probably about this many people. He said, 1 or 2 of you will play AFL footy. And I looked around, and there was Damien Cupido, who anyone who grew up in our area, he was just so much better than anyone else. So I thought, oh, well, there's one. There's one more spot left. So I got some work to do, and that was the first moment I realised that you didn't just get to play, you had to actually work for it. So thankfully I had the support around me to actually do that. So it was one of those moments where the light bulb comes on and you realise that perhaps life isn't as easy as you might think as a young fellow.
In just one match, round 11, 2003, because I have spoken to you about this in the past when we were talking about Brownlows a few years ago. Could you just tell us, I think it was the match in that it was against the Crows, wasn't it? And it was in Melbourne, and Swabby was the coach, I'm guessing. So could you just quickly tell us that story?
So Hawthorn were supposed to be a good side. We were 3-7, round 10, and all the young guys, it was before rotation, so if you started on the bench, you played the last 5 or 6 minutes of each quarter. But there was a few young guys started to come into the side. Hodgie was playing, Campbell Brown was playing, I think Robbie Campbell was playing. We were 3-7, and I think Richie Vandenberg and a couple of the other senior guys said, look, we need to just start playing some of these young blokes. And Schwabby said, all right, you're going to play at least 80% all of the young kids. And it was the first game I think I'd started on the ground. Played about 10 or 15 games by that stage. And we ended up beating Adelaide at the MCG, thanks largely to Campbell Brown breaking his scapula into a million pieces, running across in front of Nigel Smart. But it was the first game I'd really played well, been a really good player on the field, and I wasn't just getting a game for being a young fella. And we ended up winning 7 of the last 10 and missed the finals with 12 wins, which was unheard of at the time. But it was the turning point for perhaps that season, but particularly for a lot of us young guys that ended up playing in premierships together, that we had, once again, the right person believing us at the right time. And really thankful for the opportunity, even though it took 10 or 15 games. That chance as a young player is what you need every now and then, and being able to take the opportunity is obviously your end of the bargain, but being given the opportunity is someone else's, and thankfully a few of us were able to take it that day.
And just almost finally, Sam, since you've won the medal, I mean, it's a little strange saying this, but since you've won the medal, you've won 3 premierships. A lot has happened. I think you've played about 80 odd games since then, and you've won another best and fairest this year. So much has happened since that season. Is it all distinct for you? Is it all clarity, or is it a little blurry?
To be honest, when I look back over my career, the 2 years that are a bit blurred is 2011 and 2012, and I guess having children, Mendel's mum Valda was sick, so we were looking after her for significant amounts of our time, and we weren't sleeping a whole lot, to be honest. So as far as the elite lifestyle goes, I probably wasn't living that quite as well as most of the players, but I was doing the best that I could, and that has blurred my memory somewhat. If I talk to you about 2010, I can remember specific games and specific moments, but 2011, 2012, I can't remember a whole lot. They were the toughest years of my career, no doubt, from a personal point of view. To have something to take home at the end of them is something that I will appreciate. Being a little bit closer to the end than the start of my career, I think I'm mature enough to now actually appreciate the fact that it was a pretty good effort by me as a player, but my family to support me through such a difficult period.
And I just have to ask, how's it going in Perth? It's played 17 games at Subiaco and averages 30.1 disposals, the number one number one ground for him, and 7 of the 7 rounds he's had over 34, but we're not surprised, are we? So, did you go there because of Subi, or?
No, I didn't know any of that until you rang me yesterday and told me. It's not surprising. No, it's been great. It's a completely changed lifestyle for us. You're up at 5:30 in the morning and you go to the beach, and at 9 o'clock at night your eyes are closing and you're ready for bed. So from a lifestyle point of view, it's very, very different. But it's a great football club. I mean, Hawthorn's a great club, and the Eagles are a fantastic football club. In my first 2 weeks, we had a huge Christmas party. The whole club is there. They have jumping castles, and there's lots of little kids around, and you just feel like a part of the place almost instantly. And I couldn't be happier with the football club that I've landed at, and the place that we're living is fantastic. And on Sunday afternoon we had a street party with they blocked the street off, and the kids are riding their bikes up and down in the middle of the road, and stuff that you just can't anticipate has all happened since we've been there. So it's been fantastic. But at the moment we're undefeated, so no pressure's come yet.
And on April the 23rd, on the twilight of the MCG, you're playing Hawthorn, so we're all looking forward to that, aren't we? I'll ask you, Sam. Sam's polled in 104 matches. It's the most any player in the history of the game has, and he's had 220 votes, which is equal to Gary Dempsey. Gary, we know, of course, with a few more because of the situation with the two umpires. So it's a remarkable body of work, not just the 2012 season. Sam, there must be a few things you want to say.
There is, I guess. It's not embarrassing because I can bring notes because I knew I was going to win, so that's nice. I guess the first thing, I already mentioned it, but just how grateful you are to be in this position. I mean, I invited 30 or 40 people along today. Some of them couldn't be here, including some of the players from Hawthorn who are up in the Bar on their training camp. But if you go all the way back, I mean, my parents are here, mum and dad, who give you all the support. They drive you around. Anyone who's got kids that play sport, you drive around all over the state and countryside to games, to training, and it's an endless body of work. So my sister and brother-in-law are here too, and the amount of support that you get from a family growing up is vital. You're really against it if you don't have that. So to you guys, thank you. As you mentioned, it's Simon Dalrymple, but also the Moorabug Footy Club, where I played all my juniors. You just get so much support, and that real home base as a child. It was a great place to grow up. And then a guy like Donald McDonald, who was my coach at Box Hill, and when I was the little fat slow bloke who still had the right person to believe in me at the right time. It was something that was really important that gets you to this point. And then when you get into the AFL system, David Parker, I'm so rapt that he's able to be here, and you've really fallen on your feet when you get to the Hawthorn Football Club and you've got David Parker as a mentor. So Crawford and Parker and the guys that made my life at Hawthorn at the start easier. Just like to thank you guys. Peter Lenton, people say manager and they just think of someone who handles some of the stuff that you don't want to deal with as a player, but you've really become a friend and a great person to have around, and I'd be completely lost without him, particularly when you move across the country with a family. So thanks for everything you've done for me for 15 years. And I guess the Hawthorn Football Club as a whole, although I've moved on now, it is just a fantastic club. Been through such a heavy phase of change, and great people around the footy club, whether that's Clarko, Hodgie, obviously Ruffy has been a big part of my life for a long time now. I'm just so rapt for him. I can't wait for him to get back out and play. That's going to be one of the great moments of next season, and from speaking to him, he's really excited about that. I'm just upset that he couldn't be here. But those guys have been such a huge part of my life, particularly in 2012. Such a significant part of the face of the club, and then behind the scenes you have your fitness coaches and your medical people, particularly Andrew Lambert and Andrew Russell, who kept me out on the park on a regular basis to play so much footy, especially for such an old timer. And I guess the most important thing for me is my family. For anyone that knows me, they are clearly the number one thing in my life, and I learned a lesson one game when one of the kids was sick that I played a game when I shouldn't have, and for the only time in my life I put my career before my family, and it's something that I've vowed never ever to do again, and thankfully I've been able to make up for that. But to Lyndall, thank you for the support you've given me for such a long period. I mean, we've been through some pretty tough stuff. And we're looking after your mum, 2012 in particular. I mean, it's something that has brought us together as a family. You couldn't have a closer two people, so thank you for everyone. Get emotional, man. Thank you for everything that you've been able to do for me. Obviously, I had nothing to do with the children looking so sharp today, so thanks for being able to get them looking like that. Smith, how you going, buddy? Happy? A bit embarrassed. What about you girls? I mean, this is a pretty special time for me and family being able to share it, obviously for Trent and his little ones. Great for us, but this is just something I'm really, really proud to share it with my closest people. So thank you all for being here, and for Trent's side, it is a bit like a wedding, the double side thing, but thanks for everyone for being here, and thanks for the AFL for putting this on for us and giving us a bit of freedom to actually enjoy the day. So I just want to thank everyone.
It is a wedding, so we better. Is it the groom coming back up, or Trent? Would you like? It's the bride. Here again, but we'll call him the groom. Trent, would you like to come back and join? And Mike, would you like to come back once more? Mike Fitzpatrick.
May be difficult, but for those that have one, please charge your glasses. Be upstanding as we toast the 2012 Brownlow medalists Trent Cotchin, Sam Mitchell.
Boys, don't go away for a second. Mike, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Look, that concludes the ceremony for the VIP guests. You'll be shown we're going to have some refreshments in the room next to us, so you could make your way in there at your own leisure. For the media here today, guys and girls, the guys are here for photo opportunities and I think for an interview or two or three. So I'll leave that in Patrick and Rowena's hands. But everyone, thank you very much, and to Sam and Trent, congratulations.